Not So Stinky Cheese. Many trains on the island of New Florida smell nice with their loads. But sometimes they carry stinky loads like garbage or other waste. But Amtrak just carries passengers. That's why it's really useful indeed. Sam was arriving at Oakwood Station with her passenger train. Mr. Cakester arrived. A shipment of cheese has to be delivered to Treatsfield today, he said. Sam, I want you to go to the Wonsinghalf yard and collect it. I hope it's not stinky, sir, Sam said, and she puffed off. She buffered up to the freight cars. Ew, gross, moaned Sam. It smells like throw up. And her wheels slipped as she pulled the weight of the train. And then she set off with the stinky cheese. This is the stinkiest cheese I've ever smelled, she said. It smells like vomit. And the freight cars thought it was gross. This is stinky cheese, she moaned. I hope there's no mice riding in my cars, because that's what mice eat, cheese. Sam puffed along, and then there was trouble. Her brakes started to malfunction. Oh no, help! Cried Sam. This is smelly! And then Quinn was puffing along the line. And then she saw Sam. Slow down, Sam! That's the stinkiest cheese I've ever smelled, she said. On! Faster, faster! I hope these cars don't have vomiting or diarrhea! And then James was in a siding with his passenger train, but he was unaware of Sam. It seems like Sam's out of control, he said, and then he started to reduce speed, and then he sped up. Watch out! Cried Sam. I'm out of control! Bust my buffers! Gasped James. That's the fastest speed ever! I'll try to buffer up to your brake van to slow you down. And then he got behind. You must stop this! He bellowed. And then James was nervous, and he got right up to the brake van, and he buffered up. Got it, he said. And he braked with all of his might, but then the coupling snapped on both ends. That could ruin my paintwork, he said. Then Marnelli was in a siding, waiting for her train. I've got to get out of here, she said, and then she got out in front of Sam. And then Sam bumped Marnelli, and then Marnelli's wheels slipped on the rails, and then she stopped too violently, and then it happened. Luckily, no one was hurt, but there was stinky cheese everywhere. Sam was covered in it. Oh, ew. This could upset my stomach, said Marnelli. I have to get out of here. While Marnelli and Sam were being repaired and cleaned up, the Amtrak trains were being really useful on the tracks while they were doing their work. And then Mary and Christina arrived. They were new. It's nice to meet you, said Christina. This is my friend Mary. Nice to meet you too, said Mary. We've got to collect a goods train, it said, and they steamed out of the dweeble. They arrived in the yard to collect 150 freight cars, and the wagons bumped with a heavy thunk, and the engine's ready. Totally do. I do it, 12. We do it, 12, sang Christina. And then they steamed into the countryside. They said, I cannot say Bob the Builder. And they steamed along. Your back looks just like a wall, squeaked Mary, and then the guard saw the whole train way ahead of him. And then they steamed into the desert. I hope a bunny doesn't come, she said, because she might hop into my tender. And then they passed the Amtrak Pennsylvania number 43. Such shuntage, special, they said. And then they passed from inside. And then they started to go really fast, out of control. We've got to get out of here, they said. This is really fast. And then they rocketed down the line. And then the Amtrak Palmetto was coming into view. It was on its way to Savannah, Georgia. But it didn't know about the runaway train. Engineers saw Christina approaching. Christina and Mary applied their brakes, and so did the Amtrak train. But it was too late. Luckily, nobody was hurt or worse. But the Amtrak was on its side, and Christina and Mary were crumpled. We're sorry, said Christina. We didn't see you coming. Then Marnelli and Sam arrived. Sam's wheel slipped. So did Marnelli's wheels. And at last they started to pull the train back to safety. Thanks, said Mary and Christina. We're safe. We're glad to be useful. Later that day, Christine and Mary moved into Tibbet's sheds. This is my first time here, said Mary. I like it too, said Christine, and everyone smiled happily.